Hello and welcome back to Emily Cat 176. How are we? It's Monday. And yesterday I thought I was going to see a show. I was sure I'd bought a ticket for this show, but yesterday I was looking for it before because it gets sent, online. No sign of it. I looked at my ticket account because I call them sinking funds. One of my sinking funds is for buying tickets. There was nothing there. And I thought, I don't think I bought one. Maybe I was thinking of buying one and I never got round to it. So I didn't see a show yesterday. So what I'm going to talk to you about today, because I was going to do it in next week or the week after, I did see another film recently, and I saw I Swear. Now, I Swear is a film about John Davidson. And John Davidson is a Scottish man who has severe Tourette's syndrome. It was an interesting film. Now, I have to admit, I didn't know a lot about Tourette's. But with John Davidson, it's very severe. He swears with not having any control. He has tics. He has funny body movements. There's one thing in the film where he punches someone like this, but he's not doing it deliberately. It's just these body movements. So what did I think of the film? I thought it was really good. Robert Aramayo played John Davidson. He did a really good performance. Really good performance. And I think the other standout one was Shirley Henderson, who played his mother. She's a very good actress, and I thought she did a good performance as well. This film came out, I think, last year. I think it's another one we've had to wait for here in Australia, because, we always have to wait for films. I'd never heard of John Davidson, I have to admit, but he is an advocate for sufferers of Tourette's syndrome, because he had a pretty bad time growing up because people didn't know anything about it and they thought he was doing these things deliberately, when with Tourette's it's not. It's all involuntary. It just comes out. He apparently got an award from the Queen in 2019, and he swore to her. He was swearing to her, but she had already been informed that he had this condition and this is what happens. And apparently she wasn't shocked by it, and she spoke to him with a lot of understanding and acceptance that this is just something that happens. So yeah, it was interesting. It's an interesting film because it makes you think about the subject matter. And it made me think, can you imagine having a condition where you've got no control over your body? You're going to say things that you don't want to say them, but they just come out. And apparently with Tourette's, swearing is very common because it was interesting. And as I said, Robert Aramayo, he gave such a good performance as that lead role. And as I said, Shirley Henderson as the mother was very good as well, because, well, back when John Davidson was diagnosed, there was very little known about Tourette's in Scotland. And John Davidson today, he does a lot of talks, he does a lot of whatever to let people know what Tourette's is. And there's a really interesting part in the film where this couple get in touch with him and they say, "Can you talk to our daughter?" And she's in the car and she's swearing and she's hitting, she's having the tics and hitting, and they didn't know anyone else with Tourette's until they'd got in touch with this John Davidson. So he gets in the car to talk to her, and then that sets him off, and they're both doing whatever. And the father says, "Should we intervene?" The mother says, "No, leave them to it." And it was interesting because the girl had never met anyone with Tourette's before either. So yeah, it was really interesting. Really interesting, and I'm glad I saw the film. As I said, I wish I'd seen the show yesterday, which I obviously didn't buy a ticket, but anyway, I did see this a week or two ago, this film. So let me know if any of you have seen this film. I thought it was interesting, about an interesting subject. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your week. And I'm actually going to be doing a video on Wednesday this week. Okay, see you then. Bye.